In this lecture, we are going to see data scaling and normalization task. The question can be asked on this topic like explain data scaling and normalization task. Okay. Now we know that if we are having a generic data set which consists of the numerical data, so which is made up of different values which can be drawn from the different distributions having different scales, and sometimes there are also outliers. So what is the different distribution means? Data can be drawn from SQL, then from Excel, so from DBMS. So these are the various databases from which we can draw a data, right? So which consist of the different distribution and different scaling factors also, right? So that's why it is very much difficult to analyze this data. So in this case, how this data scaling and normalization works, that we are going to see. Okay. So a machine learning algorithm isn't naturally able to distinguish among these various situations, and therefore it's always preferable to standardize datasets before processing them. Because of these different distributions which is drawn from the different data sets, there are certain outliers present in that, so it is very much difficult to analyze such data, such situations. So that's why it is preferable to standardize that data set before processing them. Means if we are pass that data set to the processing, before that we have to standardize that data set. Okay, means before giving that data set to the algorithm for process, we have to standardize it. Okay, so this can be done using machine learning. So a very common problem derives from having a non-zero mean and variation greater than 1. This is the most of the common problem which can be drawn. So how it can be handled? So in the following figure, there is a comparison between a raw data set and the same data set scaled and center. So here we can see this is the raw data set given, in which the data is get scattered here and there. Now when we are applying it the scaling function and we are centering it, the data gets centered and it gets scaled according to that. So this result can be achieved using a standard scalar class of the sklearn that we have already seen, as the Python supports the function as sklearn. As we can see in last lecture, we have seen that what is sklearn and how the Python supports it, right? So from that sklearn, for the pre-processing we are importing this standard scalar class. Okay, so that's why from sklearn.preprocessing import standard scalar. Now how it can be applied, that is ss is equals to standard scalar, and that we have to transform to the data. So scale data is equals to ss dot fit transform that data means what? Data set. Okay, now here it is possible to include the mean and standard deviation using the parameter, that is with mean if we is equals to true if it is there, then and with standard is equals to true. This is the default, by default it is active, so we can set the standard deviation using this two. So if we need more powerful scaling feature with a superior control on outliers and the possibility to select a quantile range, means if we want the more possible or the powerful scaling feature, so there is the possibility to handle that using the quantile range. So there is also a class robust scaler which can handle this. So here are certain examples with different quantiles that we can see which can process this data. So here from sklearn pre-processing we are importing that robust scalar. So robust scalar quantile range we are giving as 1585 in first, in second we can give 2575, in third we can give 3060, and we can see the result of this. So here we can see the raw data is given in first figure, and second figure shows the 15 and 85 scale data, how it works. Then if we process it, scale it for 25 to 75, then it comes like this, and if it goes 30 to 60, it seems like this. Okay, so using this we can quantile that range according to the user support, and we are going to pre-process it using the RoboScalar function. So other options include the min-max scalar and the max absolute scalar. We scale data by removing the elements that don't belong to the given range, or by considering a maximum absolute value, right? So sklearn also provides a class for pre-sample normalization and the normalizer. It can apply the max L1 and L2 norms to each elements of the data set. In Euclidean space, they are defined in the following way. So using the sklearn, we can apply the normalization up to the two levels, that is L1 and L2 level. We can say normalization form 1 and normalization form 2 for each element of the data set, and this can be done using the Euclidean space. And how it is defined in Euclidean space? Like this: max norm is equals to x max is equals to x divided by max of ix, and L1 and L2 norms will be defined like this. So in L1 norm we can define it as x divided by summation of I determinant of xi, and in L2 norm we can define it as its square root. So here is an example given for the normalization, which is shown in this text format over here. Okay, so that's all for data scaling and normalization. So why it is useful, that is cleared, I think so. So why it is useful, data scaling and normalization? Because the generic data set that we are considering collects the data from different data sources. So that particular generic data set we cannot directly give it to the pre-processing. So before that we have to standardize it. So for standardization purpose we are using this data scaling and normalization. So in that we are already seen how it works, right? Means using the standard scalar function, how it scales the data, and if we using the mean and variance by controlling the mean and variance using standard scalar function, right? Now if we want the more full scaling feature, that we can implement using the RoboScalar, and in that we can specify the quantile range by which it can be scaled, right? After that we are scaling the data set for the standardized purpose, and after that we are applying the normalization process on that. So in normalization it includes the min max scalar and the max absolute scalar, which considers the absolute values for the latter purpose and the below range for the former purpose. And after that we are applying the max L1 and L2 norms to that data set in the Euclidean space like this, so that the data get standardized before processing. So using this we are standardizing the data. Okay, so that's all for today.